That's fatal.
What's going on, Proper Squad? Fatal Steven here, and welcome to episode 1 of the Proper Podcast. Today, my guest is What's the Status? What's up, man?
Hey, bro, what's going on? Thank you for
It's good,
having
man.
me.
No, you're welcome, man. Now, you don't mind if I call you Status, right?
That's what everybody calls me at this point.
Perfect. Okay, you can call me Fatal Steven. Doesn't matter. Either one works.
Yeah, well, good.
Wait, so thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk to me here. I know we mentioned about it.
Videos and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
of course, man. I've been loving playing these models, man. I've been absolutely loving it. They actually help my game experience. They enhance my game experience when it comes to this game.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of them should just be a bit available as it is. I don't really understand, but I guess there's a theory to that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some theory to it. Because it's funny, because they're in the game, but we just can't play as them. And they've been playable in the past two games, like 2019 and 2020.
My theory, this is speculation. There's
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
no official nothing on this. This is just what I think. I think that these contracts that were signed for the likenesses of these outfits and versions like King Corbin and stuff like that was for WWE 2K21. And from what I've noticed with MyRise, it's not a consistent story. It's just you pick something and you go. They're not really connected. So I think it might have just been leftovers 2021 and they just wrapped it in there. But that's just my speculation. I could be
Oh, so
wrong.
you speculate that that these were models that were originally supposed to be in 2K20 and
2K21
and 2K21 and because they scrapped it and they made 2K22, they left the files there as
the only
as a model.
explanation I can think is like they're not playable probably due to contract issues of what we just signed King Corbin for WWE 2K21 to be a playable character, but they probably had MyRise made at one point, and they just kind of said, "Well, we're just gonna throw this in here." They are aware that people do want characters available. Like,
Yeah, I saw that that T-Bar tweeted it out. Did you see that?
But I don't know if it's. I did see it. I don't know if it's. I don't want to say possible because the only reason I can think might just be contract issues. Of likenesses.
And that makes the most sense to me too. Also, like because King Corbin and King Booker, they're not they're gimmicks anymore. You know what I mean? He's not King Corbin anymore, so I don't see why they would add a King Corbin as a playable character. For MyRise, it made sense because it's like a little storyline.
I think MyRise is stitch storylines that were probably used for 2K21. So they just said, like I said, speculation. This is just me. I don't know.
Yeah,
This
is purely speculation.
It just kind of brought that over.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They weren't gonna start a story mode over, and they were just like, "Well, here it is." I just don't think. I don't think they want to keep those characters locked on purpose. I think there's something probably they have no control over.
Yeah, because it looked like in the beginning they had the option for you to unlock them or unlock some sort of characters through MyRise, which they scrapped
there's
last
a
second
lot
or
of there's a lot of I guess text within the game that says unlock this, unlock that. I think even when you start, don't quote me on this because I've only started once. It will tell you like play this mode to unlock arenas and characters, but you cannot unlock any single character.
Yeah, not a single character. It's only clothing parts and arenas.
So there's that. You never know. I don't know. Speculation that there was a contract signed for 2K21. They made those models, and then nothing was signed for 22, and they just left them in there because they're not technically playable characters. So maybe they signed a contract to King Corbin being a playable character for W2K21, and Happy Corbin to be for 2K22. And the reason that's probably stopping them is that the likeness of King Corbin, like the whole outfit and thing, to be a playable character with the name, with the music and all that stuff, is not available as a playable thing. But like I said, speculations. I don't think that they want to keep these characters locked on purpose.
Very good point.
They are aware. Like a lot of the next makers have hit them up, and I feel like it's behind their reach. It's just that it is what it is. Well, I'm going to assume it's contract stuff. So
yeah, I think that's the only assumption really. That it makes the most sense because because obviously we both know that people were gonna be playable in through MyRise. Like even Adam Pierce was one of them, and which is funny because like Adam Pearce, like why would you want to play as Adam Pearce? So it looks like that they planned on having like wacky characters playable too, like similar to
Well,
how
I
they
don't
had.
think Adam Pearce was going to be fully playable. I think he was going to be unlocked as a manager. I don't.
Oh,
I
that
like
would make the most sense.
Scarlett and all that because he's technically a
Yes,
manager. Would think. I,
that would make the most sense. Or maybe like, oh no, he's already in a MyGM, right? He's already a
yeah,
MyGM
I
character.
think he must have just been you unlock him and you can use him as a manager.
That
Pretty
would
sure
make the
there's a
most sense, yeah.
MyRise storyline when he is a manager to you.
Because it was so weird when I saw that message popping up when because someone uploaded him, I think it was Chauvin on the community creations uploaded him, and you click on download, it says you need to unlock him a MyRise Adam Pearce, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know,
mean. A lot of that, they locked the character away, so they didn't expect, I guess, for duplicates to be up.
which is funny because so that means they intended that because they added that lock there, obviously they probably intended that someone might re-upload this, so put a lock in
No,
front of it.
they intended for that character to be playable. Like, it appears to be. Like, if they lock, let's just say, or hypothetically speaking, Scarlet and Karen Cross are in bad terms, they have to lock them away last minute, right?
Okay.
And I upload Scarlet, you're gonna get that message like you need to unlock Scarlet to download this. It was at one point that was 100% meant to be a thing. I don't know if 2K21 the MyRise mode was started on there and then they just kind of
Mhm.
stringed storylines together and made it a whole complete mode. Because when I played it for a little bit that I did play for about 20 minutes, one storyline doesn't connect to the other. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking that
If you
how like
complete one
you'll win like
storyline, you go to another one, they don't reference each other. Or if they do,
yeah,
it's
it
very
doesn't
minimal.
carry over. You'll
Yeah,
win like 4 titles in a row, and it won't reference the other titles or the other
yeah, that's what I'm
matches you
saying.
had.
So it's like I feel like all that's again speculation. Me, nothing is official, just my speculation. Before people start going on Twitter that this is what's gonna happen, that's not the case. This
Yeah,
is my
it's not
speculation.
happening, guys. Okay, it's not
I
happening.
just feel like that was the situation here.
Yeah,
That
purely
that was
speculation,
planned
guys.
for 2K21. Um, that ended. I guess contracts didn't carry over, but they are aware of that. I think they are trying to make those characters available to everybody. It's just sometimes there's more than just, well, can I just unlock this? Because people do have, I guess, likenesses.
Yeah, because you know, as we all saw, and I covered it too. The most recent update 1.9, there was like a beardless Hogan and an older Roman Reigns that were just added into it,
I think
and we
that's
think that they're gonna be playable as like part of the update, like slowly rolling out these MyRise,
um
MyFaction characters as playable characters.
the only interesting about that with the patch is that they renamed Alexa Bliss. Usually when somebody has
And
the name
Sean,
and Sean, yeah, Sean. Usually when they rename somebody, there's a duplicate for that. That being that they maybe agreed to something that um, well, they kind of reached an agreement, whatever with WWE or whatever it is, to make those
yeah,
characters playable, and they're gonna come in slowly, or it could be a completely new Alexa Bliss. Because on the trailer, there is an Alexa Bliss model we didn't get our hands on.
is there? Oh
Yeah,
wow,
if
I'm
you
gonna have
get
to see that.
if you go rewatch the trailer back, I guess you can edit the footage in
Yeah,
over this.
I'll edit the footage in. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley does a, I guess, body slam through a table, and that Alexa Bliss has pigtails, and the default Alexa Bliss does not. And even with the MyRise Alexa Bliss, the goddess version, she does not have that hairstyle. So that's something that could be added later on. That's to be something that could just be added in. Because, like I said, this game is essentially, it's great. Has extremely a lot of fun with it. It's just that a lot of 21 stuff.
A lot of 21 models.
21 stuff, I'm gonna say, is gonna be here. I guess it's speculation. Nothing is
Yeah.
official. Just
Yeah,
my
so
theory on the situation.
that would make sense with the Alexa Bliss because you're saying how there's an extra one in the trailer, but that doesn't really that wouldn't explain the Shawn Michaels though, unless it is just the MyRise Shawn Michaels that they're planning on adding in because that's the only other Shawn Michaels model in the game besides 97 Shawn Michaels.
Right. And that's a separate entity of its own. Unless either that's the speculation comes in. Is the MyRise people going to be playable? Because if they are, then Alexa Bliss becomes available, which means
Mm-hmm.
that there is a secondary one, and Shawn Michaels being obviously the MyRise version.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And also yeah, and then they would have to change the year at the end of her name for the if they add in the new Alexa Bliss, and then Shawn Michaels would either be called MyRise Shawn Michaels because you know how it
He
says
would
you have
just
to
be
unlock
called
my
Shawn
Shawn.
Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels would be called Shawn Michaels, and Shawn
Oh,
Michaels
then
I would be called Shawn Michaels. Kind of like Kane is. The current Kane is just Kane. Kane away.
yes, yeah.
Corporate Kane should also be available. I don't know why
Yeah,
that.
Corporate K should have been available after because after we saw the model, how it's literally
It's
he has
better.
hair. Yeah, he has
I
like
think it's better.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the color's so weird. Why is the color on
They
a
try
oh
to
08 Kane so
they try
yellow?
to de-age some characters look great, some characters don't.
Yeah.
It's they hit or miss. But like I said, speculation only. It's just my theory on the situation. I don't think a lot of.
It would be great if 2K were able to behind the scenes if they've been in this whole time meantime they've been contacting WWE and asking, hey, would you guys be okay with
They might be
us,
doing that. I don't
you know what I
know.
mean, like would you be okay with us releasing these characters in free updates, and WWE replied and they were like, yeah, go ahead, roll it out.
It's
Because I
just
know
people.
I know in the beginning someone asked them that they were like, can you make the MyRise playable, and 2K responded like, not possible.
It's just I think I don't think they're purposely locking that for anything. Honestly, I just don't think that's the reason.
Yeah, I don't think it was 2K's. I don't think it was 2K's call. I think like they initially were planning on making them all playable, and then something happened where they had to scrap it
I
and
just think
not make
I
them.
just think it might be contract situation, but that's my theory on it. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
contracts,
Maybe they're
likenesses.
locking
Yeah,
it for whatever reason. I don't think that's why.
yeah. Like,
I think these
do
were
you think that
signed
they?
for. Go for it.
Yeah, like, do you think they'll release packs besides the DLC packs in the future?
Well, the
Like,
NXT 2.0 arena was a surprise.
yeah, that was a big surprise. I did not expect that at
There
all.
will
Which is
definitely
why
be more surprises down the line.
that's exactly why I asked that question, because I'm like,
I don't know. I
how
don't know.
cool would it be?
There's definitely more surprises down the line.
Yeah, because how cool would it be if they had just released like an extra pack where like now it's Cody Rhodes in the pack, or some newer talent that were
I,
signed.
hey, never know because
Right?
the NXT 2.0 stuff and even the new hairs and creator superstar for both male and female, that's something that wasn't necessarily done before.
Yeah, and it's not something that's not
Like that was a free
necessarily.
patch, and
Yeah,
like I think 2K20 they given us 2 extra hairs. That was with the DLC pack. This is a free patch, free. Everybody else
for
could
free.
just
Exactly. Everyone just gets it. Yeah,
yeah.
because which is a nice surprise. You know what I mean? Like, congrats to 2K for that. Like, that's a nice little. As fans of the game, we love little surprises like that we don't expect. It's
Yeah,
welcome.
it's cool. I think it's great. I think keeping I think having NXT 2.0 not being in the game makes the game feel extremely outdated, especially something that they transition over quickly.
Hmm.
But in their sense, it's also not their fault because everything was changed when the game was like mid production. I do
Exactly. Yeah,
I
and
do think that delay helped a lot.
the delay, yes. Oh yeah, I think the delay helped immensely for this game, because you know what happened with 2K20, so they didn't want to repeat that because I think they're on like, how they were on the brink of WWE changing contracts with like different developers, so they really had to make sure 2K22 was top notch.
Yeah, I guess that's the best speculation on my right stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. That too, right? But no, that's really cool. I'm glad they're doing that, adding extra stuff like that. And hopefully we see extra models too, extra characters added in future updates.
Um, I I can't like I don't know. It's hard to predict because models are different. An arena is like it's owned by WB. If you sign a contract, if you for the NXT Superstar, for example, I'm gonna use NXT
Hmm.
because that's what they added in. But
Hmm.
Braun Breaker didn't sign a contract, and he can't be in the game. An arena, that's WB's property, all of it, all of it,
Good point. Good
and
point.
there's no likeness to. I think it was 2K19. Champa wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
I think Smack Talk said it was due to contract issues, and Nikki Cross was the same thing. However, everything related to Champa was in those game files when it comes to audio, create arrest of parts, and all that stuff. But he wasn't in because at the end of the day, there's no contract. It's the same thing with the Fiend. The Fiend not being
Oh,
in,
how you
you
can
can
create the
keep.
fiend.
Yeah, but like the mask isn't in because WWE doesn't own that likeness. I think Bray Wyatt himself owns the mask.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
There's no access to that mask in any capacity because that's not their property. I'm pretty sure if they owned it, you would have gotten like a white version of it where you could recolor it yourself.
That'd make the most sense. Just a bare white one.
So it always comes down to, I guess, likeness. It's very unlikely when somebody gets removed from a game that they leave all their clothing parts with the right logos in. And I do believe the first game patch before you unlock anything, the Fiend gloves, they have hurt eel, but when you update the patch, the latest version, that texture is updated to nothing. It's just plain
Yeah,
gold.
which is funny because if you go on 1.1, the hurt heal gloves are there, but if you try and download them, the hurt heal gets removed.
Yeah, it's because they most likely removed that likeness, and that's understandable since the guy is not signed with the company.
He's not signed. Yeah. How would you feel if I hear a lot of fans of the game would like this too? How would you feel if WWE 2K became an ongoing live service where they would update the roster,
I think
someone
that's
gets released,
I think that's
they
going
remove
to
them?
happen in my faction.
You think it's gonna happen with MyFaction?
I think it's going to be like the NBA. I don't know if you're familiar with my team, but
Yes, I'm a little familiar with it. Yes, I
the
hear
mod,
comparisons with my team and
yeah,
MyFaction a lot.
the models are loaded up in a server. So I think right now, since it's an offline mode, they don't really, I guess, care. But I do think, again, speculation from my side, that in the future those models might be server based, and
Server based.
it won't be an access to them in the files in any way.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So you think that so you're speculating that this game 2K22 is testing out MyFaction just to see how it is, and then
Yeah,
when they perfect it in the future
if
games,
if it's a success, they're gonna most
if it,
likely to continue to put time into it. But it might just stay this way. I mean, it might just
yeah,
stay
actually,
this way for
I would
good
not mind. Yeah,
because from what I can see, again, speculations, NBA is a bigger project than WWE when it comes to like being a stand front 2K. At least when I see with advertisement stuff. That's not to say that treat W like shit. It's just you pay more attention to NBA because that's their franchise.
yeah, that's their bread and butter.
Well, I do think if it gets bigger, those models will be server based. Oh,
Yeah, actually, I would not mind an ongoing service even if they used MyFaction mode, similar to that. If as long as they let you play as the character in exhibition the moment you unlock the card. I think that would sit better with fans rather than just using
I
the
guess
character
I'm old
only in
school
MyFaction.
because like okay, that's cool, but why not just make the character available as it is? I don't see how the character being
Oh,
available in exhibition affects your advantage in my
yeah.
faction.
Oh yeah, of course. Like no, like
Like
I'm old school with that shit too. Like I loved back when Here Comes the Pain, you can just get some money in game and unlock a character, by playing through
it just
campaign or stuff.
doesn't. I guess it's just how business is nowadays. I guess with the
Hmm.
game transformation, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't make much sense to me because if you get maybe somebody that's in there, like Triple H that was showing up in my faction. If you get him on my faction on your game, and if he's unlocked on by default, it doesn't really change anything. Like if you unlock him
Exactly. It won't
offline,
change your experience.
okay, you get to play with him on my faction, but you get the advantage of having him there, which is like the stats I guess are bigger or whatever it is. You get that okay, look at this super cool card that I got. But offline, it's just he's just another character. You know what I mean?
I guess
There's
the way they
nothing.
see it, I guess
I
the way
don't.
they would see it
I
would
don't know
be
how they see it.
yeah, so like I would assume the way they would see it if I'm thinking of like how the current trend of how video games go nowadays, the way I think they'd see it would be if if you have to play my faction to unlock this card and then be able to use the character in exhibition, people will be forced to play my faction. If I just give
That's a
you the
motive.
character,
I would say
yeah,
it's a motive because if I play an
definitely a
offline,
motive.
I just feel the mode for me personally is kind of pointless because
Yeah,
even if I get look at this really cool Triple H I got, I can't play with anybody online. There's nothing
exactly.
special about my team because I'm doing everything offline. Now, will that change? I don't know. Well, do
Yeah,
they just added
possibly,
this
possibly
mode
not.
as an extra mode for people to, have something to do? That could be it too, because in a way, it's kind of a gauntlet. If you think about it, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it literally felt like a gauntlet. Like it's not my cup of tea. I gave it a shot. I what actually killed it for me was the fact that you have to hit 3 stars to progress. You can't just 1 star a match and then progress and then come back to it later.
yeah,
That's what killed it for me.
it could just be that they added it in for something else to do. And if you want to put microtransactions and get better at it, cool.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
could
because
just be
that's one
that
thing.
this is it. This is all they'll ever do with it, or it
That's
could
true.
be they'll if it becomes more. But I do think 2K22, my personal opinion, that this is testing waters.
I believe so. I believe that too. Because when this mode came out, I was like, oh, this is definitely testing the waters to see if people enjoy this type of stuff. Because I know I see a lot of people call it, oh wow, it's microtransaction mode. It's not a microtransaction mode. That option's there if you want it, but you can literally play the whole thing offline and not pay a single penny.
Yeah.
And I've had people send me pictures on Twitter and Instagram of them platinuming the game on PlayStation, meaning they completed MyFaction mode without spending a single penny. So it's like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay anything.
It might be just a good way to introduce. Here's another mode to play. You can, because to me, my GM is just as important. I don't like that mode.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not a big fan of my GM mode either. I was a fan of it back in the day, but I kind of outgrew it.
I've never been a fan of it. I always thought the mode was boring. But that's me.
It's funny, like what I always do in my wrestling games when I play them. What I always prefer, what I do is besides campaign, or season mode, I make matches like universe mode, but not using but I don't use universe mode because it crashes too much, or like I don't set up like that. I just do it naturally through exhibition. I'll make matches and I'll let the AI fight it for the title or whatever, and I'll just watch it. Like I don't know, I prefer doing that. I like watching the matches.
A lot
with the AI and Legend.
I've noticed this game. It's a little wonky once you go over the logo. Like
yes, the render
universe
limits
crashes, putting renders crashes, but I do know if I have no logos, and if it's just a clean game, it's good.
Which is fun at all, but like having those really good creative wrestlers.
I don't understand the logic of testing it because it was like, did you not expect people to go over?
Yeah.
That logo at all, especially
and fast too. Like
the community creation is.
Like the communities are gonna go, they're gonna reach that limit pretty fast.
And now you edit renders, which counts as a logo. So like, by default, people are gonna download 100 logos. I mean, for renders for 100 wrestlers.
The render should have been a separate file. Like it should be its own thing.
That logo limit needs to be much higher. That's all it is.
Too, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure.
I mean, at least they keep up in it. That's good.
I'm pretty sure it's been like that since 18. We're already in next gen consoles. I think it's time to.
You know what it is? It's they didn't anticipate the crossplay. They thought like, okay, this is a good limit for our console base.
I don't think so.
But they didn't anticipate that crossplay.
It was also an issue in 20 and 19.
Oh, was it? It was still an issue. Well, we didn't have renders yet though.
It doesn't matter. We still had a logo limit, and I don't see how, if the last two games has been a situation, why it hasn't been addressed.
Hasn't addressed.
Maybe it's going to be addressed in the future. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the
game is still young,
Yeah, maybe they can patch things, and they patched a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't expecting. I was really surprised with the 60 frame stuff.
60 frames patch, yeah. They upped the render limit. They added. Did you see they added the extra creative wrestler slots? They added, now it's 150, I think.
Is it? See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Someone in the comments let me know, and I looked through it. I went, and I scrolled.
I gotta test that out because I had no idea. Awesome.
Yeah, 150. So they add little things here that they don't talk about in the patch notes. That like, it's like quality of life stuff.
Because like 100 cost slots is not enough.
Yeah. Oh no, not even close, man. I'm glad they upped it.
Yeah.
I got a question here from the K19. What is your favorite wrestling game?
9. It's SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Oh, that's a good one. Why is that one your favorite?
I think it's the most polished for the PS2 era, as in it looks the best. It's literally like a polished Here Comes the Pain. As I think the roster isn't as strong as Here Comes the Pain, but I don't know. I guess growing up around that time with wrestling, to me, that has that special place from the rise of Batista, Orton, Cena. That's the one I go for every time.
Great choice. That one is literally one of my top ones, and I agree with that. Like how it has not the best roster when it comes to Here Comes the Pain, but yeah, it feels like a new Here Comes the Pain. Like if you want that Here Comes the Pain fix.
It also has the best creative wrestler mode on PS2 era.
Is that the one where you're able to make it like very, very small, very skinny?
Yeah, a lot of the PS2 era guys are like that, but like SmackDown 2006, compared to like Here Comes the Pain and the original SVR. Like the original SVR, the characters look like Buzz Lightyear, bro. It doesn't matter what you make them. If you Google them up, they will look like Buzz Lightyear. And now in Smash Bros. Raw 2006, they actually look like people. Now they don't match the in-game models as they should, but PS2, so there's limits to that.
Yeah, exactly.
They look like
For its
people,
time, it did.
and it was one of the most polished, I guess, creative wrestler modes at the time because like even when it comes to pain, the cars look horrible. Like
Oh
they
yeah. Oh my
they
God.
don't they don't match the in-game stuff.
I recently made a video where I went through all my old CODs on the PS2 games. And going through those ones, I'm just like, what the hell did I make? Because back in the day, you remember, you would go on the website and you would follow someone's guide to
Oh
how to
yeah,
make a certain wrestler,
cars of
right?
WS.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so I have all these old wrestlers that, and at the time I thought looked amazing, and then I looked at it recently and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is nothing like the person.
But yeah,
Like,
Smash Bros. Raw 2006.
that's good. That's awesome. So there you go, K19, Smack the Bros. 6. Um, Question by Kazi. What's the process of getting these characters, the MyRise versions and the exclusive stars from like MyFaction, that we cannot unlock? Is it tedious, simple, or does it depend on the character?
Okay, so it is tedious if you don't know where to look. I know where to look because a few people out there know how to look too. Yeah, it can be tedious,
It can be tedious, and
especially
these are
that first week I had it. There's nothing out. There was no anything. I
no
had to
mod
do
tools. There's
it.
nothing
I
yet
had to
out.
do it from scratch, and
Gotcha.
so yeah.
And now these are not the official models, right?
No, they're duplicates. A lot of people have that situation where they're like, "Oh, I got the real Corey Graves." Like you got a Creator's Studio version of Corey Graves. You don't get the commentary, don't get the call name. You don't get the uniqueness of like a fully playable character. It's like if you took Triple H in the game and you make an alternative attire with him when you go into Creator Superstar and you save it. The game is not going to read that as the official Triple H. They're going to read that as a Creator Superstar, and that's what
Which
all these characters are.
exactly.
They're all
Which is
just
why
Creator
if you
Superstars.
if you made a new Triple H an alternate attire and you saved it as not an alternate attire,
Yeah.
he comes out as a superstar still.
Well, yeah, but in 2K20 you could change that name. I don't know why they removed that. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Don't
It's a
know.
little
I
weird
was
because to me I
worried
would
about that
just
too.
remove the call name all completely. I'm still trying to figure something out to just not have to say anything. Because not having to say anything it's better than Superstar. But
But
yeah,
status, it has to say their name status.
if I could, I would. Like I try the best that I can to make it as user friendly as it is. I think I'm doing pretty good. 'Cause every stuff that I upload, it goes through two accounts,
Yeah, no, you've been doing amazing, man.
PS5, and it goes to an Xbox One account as well. To see if they work on those two modes, I mean on those two consoles, then it's gonna work everywhere. But like yeah, none of the models are official. They're just duplicates. It doesn't affect you, and if you download it, you don't get an advantage anywhere. You don't get the card or whatever mode it is. You don't get the official thing. It's just a duplicate of that. That's all it is. There's nothing
Yeah.
official about it, I guess.
I hope
It's
that
a
cleared it up.
recreation. It's a recreation. That's what I
There you
like
go.
to call
Yeah,
it. A creative
literally.
superstar recreation of it.
Yeah. So it's not the official model, guys. He takes it, duplicates it. It's a recreation, uploads it. That's why it's called the superstar, and that's why the
Yeah, your
commentary, the
game
announcers
will
don't talk
essentially
about it
read it as a creative superstar. They're not
as
going
a
to read it
critic. Yeah.
as, I guess, whatever it was like Corey
They're not going
Graves.
to read it as Corey Graves. They're gonna think you built it from the ground up.
Yeah, like you would with any superstar in the game. Like
With
take
anyone,
the
yeah.
keys to it and you save him as a non-alt. It's gonna read it like that, like a clone. 'Cause that's all it is.
Perfect. Thanks for clearing that up. We got a question from MFW Wrestling. How long does it take? How long does it take the whole process of getting these characters?
I think I just answered that. If you don't know, like the first thing you do is just, I guess, not finding them, but like is unlocking them and upload it. It's tedious at first, but now on this like 2 months into the game, it's not as tedious because
It's not as easy because you understand
people
how to
out
do
there
it
have
better.
made lists and stuff, so it's not as crazy, which is it's cool because now there's a lot more people doing it, and that's great. I think. So the more the merrier. I can see that.
Oh yeah, as long as they're not broken. You know, what I mean, as long as they're not uploading broken models, because like you said, you test it out on two consoles before you upload to make sure your creation is top notch and it's
Yeah,
working on everything.
there's a lot of stuff that's broken. Like Moveset Man is broken. I think he turns invisible.
He does. You know what's funny? He turned invisible on the PS4, but PS5, and
Yeah.
maybe the new Xboxes, he doesn't turn invisible.
When I tested him, he was invisible on my PS5, but this was patch, I think 1.3.
Yeah, so 1.9. So I guess 1.9 he doesn't turn invisible
I
anymore.
don't see the point of moveset man because he's just a creative wrestler, and
Yeah, he literally is just a wrestler.
and I don't like to release stuff that can give you an unfair advantage online.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
an invisible
Yeah,
character will give you an unfair advantage online. You know what I mean? And
exactly. And
that's not what I do.
that's
That's
why
not
you
what
don't
I do.
upload characters. Exactly. That's why you don't upload broken characters. And when it comes to unfinished characters, the reason why you upload Kayla and Byron is because it was high demand.
I didn't want to upload them because I knew that you couldn't fully edit them as much as you like. No, but there was a high demand for Kayla because she does absolutely look great in the game if you go and
He
zoom
does,
into her
yeah.
face. And same thing with Byron. Um, but there's asterisks there. Like I said, people can still play with them. So
Mhm.
I give you that. If ever, I guess they for some reason fix it. It's not. They're not going to. I don't think they would because it's not. It's just characters for cutscenes.
Yeah.
But if they do, then I'll fix it up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, then you can create attires for them and re-upload them. It's perfect, you know. So it's a
But
win-win there.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
I wouldn't hold your breath, guys, about that one. But just a disclaimer, that's why he uploaded them. And a disclaimer, he also gave you guys a disclaimer saying that you can't upload the
yeah,
tire for them, you can't fix the tire.
it's in there. When you download it, it will tell you you cannot give them the tire. But
Yeah,
take it as you want.
exactly. Take it how you want. Um, is Ziggler's attire? Sorry, is Ziggler's alternate entrance motion from 2K20 hidden in the game files?
I don't know. I haven't. I know some people have this thing where like they just think I spend all day in the files, but I don't do that.
You're telling me you're not on your computer 24/7 looking through the files?
No, I haven't checked. I haven't.
Okay,
I
so
look into it. I haven't looked at that stuff um much. I think the only entrance I really wanted Roman Reigns
okay.
with the title. I think I posted a video with it. I made that as selectable for creator wrestlers. However, it only works if you got a manager and it has to be a specific manager. It's a whole process for that entrance. That should be
It
in
probably has to be Paul Heyman, right?
yeah, it does. But that's for now. That could change in the future. I don't know. It'd be
Yeah, of
cool
course.
for them to add that in. I don't like when they have entrances that are fully working and they just lock it over. Because an
Yeah,
entrance,
because
I don't think an entrance has any likeness to things because it's
yeah.
just a
Well, speaking
motion,
of that, actually, they made the Fiend entrance Fiendish. They released it in the patch.
which
You
is
can use it
great.
now.
Which is
Yeah.
great.
So
Awesome. Now,
maybe they plan on
I
slowly
I
doing that.
hated it that I had to be like answer 58 questions if I could just copy it over the work. But it's cool. I'm glad it's available. That's how it should be. It should be
Hmm.
available from the get go. It shouldn't. I don't get the logic. Maybe they forgot. Maybe it was just a slip up
Yeah.
and they realized, okay, oh shit, that's in there. That's
It's also better late than never, right?
yeah. Did they fix the light on it? Because I noticed that when I unlocked it, there was no red light. It was just no light.
Uh, I didn't check it myself. I
I'm
just
pretty sure they
heard.
would at least fix the light.
Yeah. I would assume they would fix the light if they're gonna unlock it.
Even if they didn't, they should just
I do know they removed the lantern. I did hear about that.
the lantern.
Yes, the
What
head
do you?
lantern. Something about a head lantern. They removed it.
No, the head lantern videos that been going out, that's modified.
Modified. There you go. Okay. Fucking
That that that
mods tricked me again.
that cannot go in the configurations. That's modified. Um, and yeah, there's that. But
Wow, that was a modified entrance. That looked legit. I thought it was a legit entrance. Jesus, these mods, man. If you
yeah,
don't label the if they're good and you don't label them as mods, they trick people like the whole Orin 06 and Jeff Hardy no face paint.
that was a troll on me because I know who did it.
Oh, I know who did it too.
he was trying to get and then he just said
I don't
that's
think he meant it like that. I don't think he meant to get a negative rise out of it. I
no,
think
he was
he's just
essentially
messing around.
he was trolling me.
Oh, he was
Because
trolling you
he knew that where exactly that was gonna go.
because he knew everyone was gonna bug you about it, and then essentially bug me about asking you for it.
I still got questions about it, and with the
Oh, of
same
course,
video.
dude.
And
Well, I don't think we're gonna stop getting questions over
I'm
or
gonna
no
be
six.
honest that there's a higher chance of Orton 06 being available later on than there is for Jeff Hardy with no face paint.
Yes, I was just thinking of that because obviously Jeff Hardy no face man is Jeff Hardy's in AW now, but when Oro 06, that one I can see being possible.
I can't predict what they're gonna add because the arena was a surprise to me, a welcome one. But I'm glad that I think they did a great job with the patch, and I'm glad that these games at least this one feels so much different than like 19 and 20 on a sense of them giving support. Because I don't know, that's how it should be. Like even with the Fiend entrance, that should have been available from the get-go. Maybe they had to fix something on it, which I'm gonna assume delight, and then they're gonna make it available for everybody. But
or maybe it could have been also the entrance music changing.
Didn't that happen on the default? That didn't happen with the title one. That happened on the default.
The default, yeah.
And the reason why that happens on the default because that 9 times out of 10 was programmed to play the Firefly Funhouse theme and then actually play the Fiend team after it. Because when he pops up, it plays a different team. Now, I'm going to assume by just speculation that it's coded to play the Firefly Funhouse team. There's no team to play, so it loads Cause 0. Cause 0 is just a generic slot. First thing it found, it'll load. Hopefully they fixed it. I think they did.
They did fix it, yes. Which is again a welcome fix too.
Yeah, that's what I like to say. I like when they fix stuff. They sometimes they have this like negative I guess aura on them, but they fixed it, so that's welcome. I like.
Yeah, I know there's people who think they don't fix anything. It's like, no man, they fix a lot of stuff. They fix a lot of stuff. Now, like, yeah, sure, some crashes and bugs will still happen, but like it's not necessarily their fault. It could be the hardware that you're playing it on.
I don't know. It's also not my business. If they want to fix it, they fix it. It's whatever. I do think that the last patch was cool and the arena was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that too. The last patch was very welcomed and had good and bad on it, as with every patch. So what got you into modding?
Oh man, modding. What I do now, modding as in adding characters. There's a whole bunch of levels of modding. I
guess they meant in general. What got you into
I've been doing this since the PS2 days with
Game
Sharks, Game Shark, Codebreaker. I'm showing my age now. It's been a long time. But yeah, I've been doing it since then, and I always want to have a complete roster, complete everything. So that's just all I ever wanted. Transition to PC in the last couple of years was I don't like that there's a limit on female superstars can only face female superstars. There's male superstars can only face male. I like when everybody fights everybody.
Yeah, I think that's also
fighting
an
game
old
to
school
me.
part
Mortal
of it too.
Kombat, and Street Fighter. Everybody fights everybody. You know what I mean? And basically, all it is, long story short, is limitations. I don't like the limitations on things. I want to do what I want to do. And modding is great if you get into it. Like theme music's being a thing. Like that's a big thing for me is music for entrances. Like I don't even know why that's not possible yet, but
yeah, I know.
It's crazy how
it was possible back in the Xbox One or Xbox 360 days, where you can literally just load up a music from your console.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, but usually what I want is no limitations and ability to, I guess, get the craziest roster I can get.
Craziest roster, no limitations, and you want like the updated roster too, so you create the wrestlers.
I'm not too keen on it. The updated roster, I still like to create wrestlers, so like the updated roster is not that crazy. Let's get to it, but there's so much difference from a create a wrestler and somebody who makes like mods like.
Yeah, I saw someone modded in a giant bear once, like huge bear.
Oh, that's my boy Kyle Life, man. He's extremely talented. It's great.
Oh my god.
PW mods, like they have amazing creators in there. Like it's insane. Craziest thing these guys can do. Like I know this guy B4G. He has like a whole arena pack of like an era, and like it's everything from that. It's insane how much time they put in. Like I think the WrestleMania 38. My boy Matt Fick, he was watching it, and like by the time the show was done for night one, the arena was done. Out of that in, fix it up, all good to go. Joe Mashups has like craziest, like you make a face out of nothing, and that's the difference with modding. This dude Grex, man, he's putting weapons and like making a table and or like barbed wire. It's like modding it's so much more than just here I downloaded a create a wrestler, and it's done. Like I said, like modding is like way more than that. And that's what I like. You know what I mean, if there's an option to put in a bear versus Roman Reigns, then modding will make that possible. Obviously, the community be super talented. and stuff like that. Not only
Yeah, I
not
saw
only
Joe
weapons,
Mashup.
yeah, not only
Mhm.
weapons and characters, but menus. Um,
Menus.
yeah, I've seen people make menus from nothing. Like it's crazy. Arenas. I can tell you, bro, that like the PWM guys, they're extremely talented, and I feel like there isn't enough of a spotlight on them sometimes, but they are insane.
Yeah, I plan on getting some of those PW guys on the on the podcast here.
Oh, well, they'll be cool. But like
Yeah,
they are extremely. I cannot stress that enough how crazy the stuff they do. It's like unreal. And
yeah, very talented group
I
of
think that
individuals.
modding in 2K22 is going to be insane once things are ready.
What's the tools already, right?
Yeah, that tool. There's
Yeah.
also a lot of speculation with that tool because people assume that's gonna like unlock characters, which that's not what that tool does at all. All that tool
Yeah,
does,
isn't that tool just to load mods? It's meant to just load mods and everything?
it's meant to create and load mods. Like you
Yeah.
can create. So a lot of people are like assuming you're gonna unlock the characters there, but you're not going to. That's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
people think if you buy the PC version, the characters are just instant unlocked or
Uh,
something like.
I hear that every day about the PC. I don't see Corey Graves. I say, oh, well, that's not really like that. Like I said, yeah, modding in 2K22, I think a couple of months is gonna be booming. Like, be so much
Yeah,
better.
I
I
seen
think it's
Joe
gonna be
Mashup.
so much better in 19 because I don't know. Stuff is great right now. That tool's on a very troubleshooting stage because I think they want to make it as a beginner to jumping into modding. They want to make that available as easy as
Mhm.
possible, and it's gonna be. I tell you, bro, modding is gonna be insane.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that. I see the way Joe Mashup does stuff where he like creates the models in like maybe like it looks like Blender or he does something with the model. He like legit shows the 3D model and everything of what he's working on, and insane stuff. And the owner of PW, I see poor guy gets bombarded with questions of when the
Oh,
tools are released. Like,
that's
dude,
he's a hey, bro. Shout out to Rips, bro. He's a cool, extremely cool dude, man. You guys don't understand
shut up.
how much of like an effort that goes behind the scenes to keep everything afloat. And he
And the hard work too. It's not it's not just like you release the mod tools tomorrow. It's like you gotta make sure that shit's working and
I think
it's
some people are
stable.
impatient. I don't
Oh, of course,
understand
it's
why
all about impatience.
because like a lot of the a lot of the experienced modders they're very patient with their stuff. They're creating stuff, they're testing. It's just that you don't want to release something that's not like
Finish already.
or just give you something that might be overwhelming for a new user, right? Things need to be welcoming in that sense.
Very, very good point. Yeah, welcoming, yeah,
And
not overwhelming to the user.
test it too.
Yeah, test it.
Every time a patch comes out, something goes a little wonky. So you don't want to release something and a patch comes out and then like now it's useless. Yeah.
Very good
Uh
point.
yeah. Those
Very good point,
PWM
man.
guys are I'm telling you, bro, crazy,
Yeah,
talented
I
people
can't
there.
wait to see what they
Crazy.
do when the tools release and all the mods get like mod
Uh,
videos.
you're gonna get fooled again. You're gonna be like, oh,
Oh my god.
scenes in the game. Why didn't you upload? Like,
Oh no. Oh no, I can't imagine the questions I'm gonna get asked, dude.
oh look,
Oh my
bro.
god, it's gonna be like, oh my god, someone found a pack of 20 wrestlers in the files,
Oh,
bro. No.
oh. I'll be like, rewind my faction. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yo,
it'll be great.
exactly. Yeah, because of my faction, they're just gonna assume that all these people are found in my faction,
Yeah, probably.
right? Uh, thanks for answering that, bro. Thanks for answering. So how were you able to work around the crashing of like, certain models, like Road Dogg, how used to crash for you? How did you find a workaround to upload them and to
Bro,
fix it so
I
he doesn't
think
crash?
Road Dog crashes because the tires DLC.
Oh, his attire was DLC.
It might be because
It might
those
have been. Okay.
attire pieces are not there. They don't exist, so it will crash.
Ah, gotcha. So
So
which is why you gave him original Road Dogg's attire, and then for the secondary attire, you gave him
I
a custom performance center attire.
the that one that attire is there. And that's all I
Oh,
had
that's
to
how.
do. I had to go in there in the files, I guess, and then just modify what that create recipes, and then I got them out of there, and boom.
Oh, and then it stopped crashing.
Now,
Gotcha.
I know I get questions about Michael Cole, so let's nip that in the butt. Michael Cole is never
Okay.
gonna load because Michael Cole is a commentary model, and unlike Corey Graves, there's no a secondary upscaled model for cutscenes. Michael Cole will always be the low quality model, so I don't think he loads in and create a wrestler like that.
And by that you mean the only model you have of Corey Graves is the one you see on the side table there during matches.
Yeah, but that's a high quality model. Like that. That's why when you can put clothes on him, stuff like that, Byron Saxton and Cole, they're not like that. They're
Oh.
they're not the same. That's why Byron Saxton you can put clothes on him because they're just cutscene models. But Corey Graves for some reason isn't. I don't know if that's like an Easter egg for PC players, but it might
For
be.
real. Wait,
'Cause,
so would that essentially mean so it's a no one Michael Cole because his model just won't load. But would that also mean that if you loaded up the commentary model of Byron with the suit, he would spawn in with the suit?
no, because when they make models, essentially they make them naked or attire pieces, right? They're just you put them in Creative Studio. They don't have. You can strip them down to just underwear, like how Byron is, right? Um, Michael Cole, for example, the suit is part of his body. So, like, there's nothing under Michael Cole's body. Like, the suit is, that's all it is. I mean, like, that isn't an extra piece. Michael Cole himself is just a suit. And the head and hands. And if you zoom in to him in matches, you can look like he looks garbage compared to Corey Graves. He looks like the 2K20 unused model because he's not been, I guess, scanned and upgraded. While Byron seems to have a cutscene model for MyRise, and it's upscaled. It looks good, and he also has an ugly one for. I keep saying ugly, but that's
The
I
low
guess,
poly version.
yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to have that for matches. Now, Michael Cole, I think in the future games will be rescanned and upgraded, but the model you see of Michael Cole looks exactly like 2K20, 19, and all that.
2K20. Because they don't expect you to zoom in on his face or you won't see him up
They don't
close. So like why
expect you
would
to
yeah.
open up in Creative Studio, but yeah.
Now obviously with mods modders will be able to make him playable, but only in PC.
Yeah, you can't clone him because there's nothing there to clone.
Gotcha. Okay. So status, I know the answer to this one. How do you feel about people using the what's the status tag for their own uploads as well as pretending to be taking your name?
All right, so those are two separate questions, I guess. I don't mind people using my search tag. If you want to get some downloads, if it gives you attention to your stuff, I don't have an issue with that. Pretending to be me, it's a little weird. I don't know why it's done. Because if you know how to do, I think somebody was doing it when he was uploading gigantic people. If you know that, you can start your own name, man. You know what I mean? You can start your own thing. Like, oh, that's the guy that uploads that gigantic people. Or that's the guy that uploads little people. Like, I don't understand. I don't get the logic behind it. I just had to be sure because I was answering questions about things that I didn't upload.
And that gets a little tedious and annoying too, and it's constantly getting
No,
asked
it's
questions of
just if
stuff
I
you're just like, I didn't make that.
who was it? I don't know what character it was. I'm going to I think I was credited for a China I had nothing to do with, which I thought was
Yes.
really bizarre. And people were like, "Oh, I downloaded your China. It's great." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
and
and funny about that channel, the uploader put in the description, make sure
yeah,
to thank what's the status on Twitter and just puts his
I don't know
Twitter there.
why. It was a little strange. I don't know why he did that. Yeah, I did ask about China to 2K. They said absolutely not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So, and by the way, for those who are listening and wondering what you're talking about, there was an intergender China uploaded where she was able to play in both male and female matches.
I didn't even know that.
Status asked 2K, and 2K said
I asked
absolutely not.
2K because I wanted to upload a pack where every female in the game would fight everybody.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. China was going to be the first one for obvious reason, and then Beth,
Mhm.
and then obviously everybody else. Before I did it, I was like, "Is this possible?" And they're like, "Nah, don't do that because
Which is
that's."
probably just what it probably just goes against what WWE wants.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that's what it is,
Yeah.
and that was the same conversation I had about the MyFaction people. They were like, "As long as it's custom, then you're good."
Interesting. Okay, there's your answer to that one. You go ahead and use what's the status tags if you want some attention to your models and stuff,
I
but
wouldn't
don't.
use it because
Yeah.
now it's just full of stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it anymore because
I noticed that the more a search tag seems to have, the longer it takes to load. I feel like it might be a little bit counterproductive using my tag now.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
want to,
exactly.
there's no issue. I don't see it
I
issue
don't
with
think
it.
it would. Yeah, I don't think it would help your creative wrestler get seen more because not a lot of people use that tag anymore.
Sometimes the users also think that just using my search tag, immediately it's me.
Yeah,
when it's
I know,
like that.
right?
'Cause
Some
it'd be
people
like,
get the hashtags mixed up with the user, thinking that the hashtag
I
is
think
means it's you.
I think when I was making the Fiend, they're like, "Oh, I like the first Fiend you made," and I was like, "What?" I had to check, and there's a Fiend that's again credited to me, but I don't know what. And a Chris Jericho as well. It's like I never even made a credit status for the Chris Jericho tattoos, and I was like, "Huh? What? What do you mean? I didn't make any of that." So, if you want to use my search check, go ahead.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, his accounts are on his Twitter, pinned tweet on his Twitter, his only accounts. So if you guys are downloading stuff by What's the Status, so you're not sure if it's him or not, you can just go ahead and check his Twitter, match the numbers, and boom, you'll know if it's him or not.
Stuff gets tested, so it should work.
And
Shit,
yeah,
I
and like
think
Status said,
everything
all
works.
this stuff gets tested.
think you downloaded all of it, right?
Yeah, every single thing I've downloaded
And
from
it
you has
works
worked,
fine.
no problem. Yeah.
Easy.
The only stuff has not worked as stuff literally that I haven't downloaded from you.
It's a little crazy.
Right.
But that's cool.
No, yeah, it's good. So hashtags are alright, but using your name kind of weird, kind of cringe.
I find it strange. It's just why, just some dude uploading creations, bro. I don't get it.
Yeah, and
Especially
like you
if
said,
know your way around things, like then make your name for yourself, man. Like
yeah, like you said, yeah, if you're uploading if you're uploading cool creations up there, you'll make a name for yourself. You don't have to worry about using someone else's name.
I don't get it, but that's just my situation on that. I don't have an issue if you just I made a creator wrestler and somebody searches what's the status, they might see it there and they might like it. Don't do that. It doesn't bother me.
What other games do you play besides wrestling games?
Big fan of the Pokemon series.
You found a Pokemon series,
I'm on that
culture right
too.
there.
I'm on that too.
Man of culture, good one. Here we go.
Yeah.
So you've been keeping up with the new ones and everything, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh.
All right. So I'm guessing you got a Switch.
Two. I have two Switches.
Ah man, there we go. Okay. This one here, a question. This is an odd one, but I was like, oh, interesting. So Undertaker 2010 from Showcase mode.
Yep.
Doesn't come out with a robe or hat as an entrance.
Right.
Would it be possible to make him an alternate attire for current Undertaker so that he comes out with the robe and hat in the entrance? The person says they're aware that he can give him the clothing with Creation Suite, but it won't be seen taking off the hat in the entrance.
I'm gonna write that down to test it out. This should work.
Perfect. Okay, so there you go.
I got
Google Pay,
requests. I
write
also
down.
get a lot of requests for Finn Balor Demon. People want that as an alt for Finn Balor
Okay.
because
Oh, makes sense.
they don't see a point of Finn Balor winning the championship, and then Demon, if you use the Demon slot, then he can't be a champion. There's two. I don't know why Finn Balor's split, but I do get requests a lot for that. But like I said, I got a lot of requests for weird stuff as well.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, so
I'll
there you go.
definitely
He'll write that one down.
definitely look into that. And then you can reply to him with the result.
Perfect.
But I'll.
And I'm sure if they stumble upon this video, if they end up watching it, then they'll see if their question gets answered. They'll get the answer right there.
I definitely think it's possible.
Perfect. Okay, so you look into it. What features do you wish were in 2K22?
Good questions. I wish that I wish we had. I guess this is a long one. I wish we had. If you guys ever play Here Comes the Pain, shut your mouth. They have these monthly stories in season mode. Text. I wish there was a lot of that in universe, where if I pick a rivalry, it would play that specific story and it would have text and cutscenes that would be streamlined together and not random. So universe, and then like maybe I guess this is my request for 2K20 series. Having like stories you could just download from creations. Like I think you could do that at one point, then use them in universe.
Yes, 2011, you were able to.
You can use them in universe when you would have cutscenes and promos, and it wouldn't be just random generated stuff in universe where it's like Kane cutting a promo and saying that he had no milk in his cereal, and he was upset about it. You know, I hate that promo system. I'm so glad it was removed. I oh my god, I hated that so much. But yeah, I would like that create a story aspect to be in universe to where like if I make rivalry, it would be like a friend betrays friend, and it would be a whole storyline in there. Oh, we were friends, and then week 2 this person would betray him. Week 3 they would cut a promo. Week 4 they would set up for the pay-per-view. But all that would be connected within each other, and I could reuse that storyline or female wrestlers or for another show that I'm running with, but it would be in there. And I think that having created a story in that sense would be people will make their own, and then you can use those stories in universe. Or Superstar A would fight Superstar B, and the reason they're fighting each other is because they're best friends. But by week 3, they're gonna turn on each other. But there's promos that are connected to that storyline, to where we were friends for so many years, and you turned your back on me,
Right.
and so you're essentially playing a story, kind of like on MyRise is, where you are, you're doing something. You're not just, okay, week 1, somebody attacked from me from behind. Week 2, he attacked me again. Or week 3, I attacked him. There's no connection. It's just us throwing random shots at each other, and we're not really
Yeah.
cutting a promo of the storyline. It's just random shit thrown together. If it was like season mode, which would be from April, the month April, you would have 4 weeks, and then that would be a storyline. I think back, I don't know if you ever remember, there's always a storyline I remember where Eddie Guerrero is upset with you because his daughter has your poster on the wall, and he rips it up. I don't know if you remember that storyline, but that was stuck with me when I was a kid.
Yes, that was one of the. Was it a game? It was one of the games, right?
It was. I think it's Shut Your Mouth or Here Comes the Pain. I don't know
Yeah,
which one it is.
it was one of the PS2 games.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, I was using The Rock at the time," and I think that's what the reference was from the TVs. Like, Rocky, my daughter thinks she was favorite wrestler, but it should be me, and I ripped the poster up, and I hate you. We're gonna fight. There's a
Yeah.
storyline there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even if it's a silly one, it's just you want like an actual story.
So like if I'm playing, there's something to do, and then if that's a story where I can start a rivalry with Universe, okay, the storyline is that Superstar A hates Superstar B because Superstar B is way more popular, and this is the storyline that's gonna happen. I'll give you a little description of it. Implement that into Universe can revive so much life to it, and you can reuse that same rivalry story thing into other characters. So you want to use you making a universe about freaking the 80s, and it's Hogan versus Piper, and you can reuse that exact same story into that universe,
same format.
Yeah, and then since if it would be like custom stories like it was in the older games, people could upload their own. So essentially, you would be playing people's stories or people's rivalries,
which was loads of fun downloading those custom storylines.
Yeah, you would be doing a lot, and it will keep life to Universe, because Universe 9 times out of 10 is my favorite mode, and I think Superstar mode I was very wrong about, because I thought it was like, oh, it's the same shit. Because I've been playing Universe like Superstar mode, where I just pick one guy and I run through it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Universe, when it comes to these series, lifeblood in the long run. It's the sandbox thing that we can do whatever we want with it. So you can be an Attitude Era fan, and that's all you like. You don't care about current roster. That could be a possibility with Universe mode, and I think that mode gets a little ignored sometimes. Personally, I feel like that should be a mode that should have a lot of attention.
Very well said, man. Great features too. Great choices. Do you think you already answered this one a little bit, but why exactly are the models like Byron, Kayla, and Baron Blade not editable?
Because they're cutscene models.
Because they're cutscene models, and that's why you can't put clothing on them.
Yeah, some are odd off. Like Corey Gray is a cutscene model, but I guess that's an Easter egg.
yeah, it's a little PC Easter, I guess.
Because even in past games, characters are locked away will have commentary. So Corey Graves will have his own commentary. Even Byron Saxton, if you play with him in 22, he will have his own commentary. But they will acknowledge, Byron, why are you so excited to go down the ring? And it's the character. So you don't get that with the Creations version because you're getting a recreation / Creative Superstar. You're not getting the official stuff.
Interesting. So if it was the actual model, you'd hear the announcers talk about them.
Yeah, that makes it official. None of my stuff is my stuff is just Creative Superstars. None of it is, the real thing. It's just variants of it.
Gotcha. Now, this one here, obviously we know the answer to this one. But is it possible to import characters from 2K19 into 2K22 like Bray Wyatt and add them to communications?
No.
No, not allowed.
I tried to I wanted to get Hogan with the beard, and I wanted to get Liv Morgan without the makeup, because that was a big thing. And I remember I tried it on a dummy account to see what would happen. In seconds, I was banned. Like, I uploaded that Hogan, and I think, I don't know, that was a weird situation.
Which is funny, because when you download that Hogan, the beard comes back anyways. So it's like...
Well, it comes back because it would load whatever's in your game. Now what's in mine? I've modified his texture too, and I have the beard. And I thought, okay, maybe it's gonna duplicate it and work. I did think it would, but I wanted to try it to be sure, you know. And if it worked, then that would have been crazy, because then I could absolutely give Jeff Hardy no face paint.
Yeah.
But it didn't
Yeah.
work. I got
If that
banned
allowed,
instantly.
yeah.
I got banned instantly, and I just left it at that. I left it alone. I didn't touch it. That's
Yeah,
the only
you're like,
time
okay,
I've
this
been.
is my test.
That's the only time I've been punished, I guess, on that sense, was to upload a modded texture. Nothing
Which
else.
blows me away because people have been uploading DLC still, and they've been up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get this game, man.
Yeah, I don't touch DLC. I don't see the point. You're gonna get the character anyway.
Yeah. I just don't get how you upload a little face texture, a little fix, and then you get
I
banned.
think I understand why, because it was modified. DLC is not really modified. Even if you just
Oh, I
unlock it,
see.
it's gonna be
Yes.
eventually. But I don't know. I don't
But
see.
also there were the midget guys and the giant guys that were uploaded, and they stayed up until eventually getting banned.
I don't deal with that stuff. I mean, like, I don't see the point of making a giant, I don't know, Roddy Piper or a tiny Roman Reigns. People find that hilarious, but never appealed to me.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
I do know there is an audience out there that likes that stuff.
Yeah,
Somebody
I mean,
wants
yeah,
to do that, they can, but it's just not
yeah.
something
I think
do.
that's the way it sees. Like a lot of console players, see that as the closest they're gonna get to mods. If they get to play as a little tiny rock, that's the closest they're gonna get to modded characters, I think.
Yeah, when I was on console before the game was available PC, I used to even unlock the NPCs there.
Yeah.
And I used to, it was cool.
Yeah, they're good jobbers. They're good to use as jobbers.
Oh, now it's better because you can edit their outfits and stuff. You know, Corey Graves. I
Yes.
keep bringing up Corey Graves because he's like on my screen right now, and having Corey Graves in the game is great. He's playable. I mean, you can even make
Yeah.
his own attire because they left his 2K15 attire there, so you could just recreate that, and it's great.
Yep,
Like,
and you
awesome.
can also download his moveset too off the communications.
Because, like you said, it's a creative. Like I said, it's a creative superstar. It acts like a creative superstar. It's not an official model, and a lot of people seem to be thinking sometimes I'm giving them official super duper models. It's not the case at all. You're gonna create a superstar version of that.
So those, yeah, 2K, yeah, exactly. A create a superstar version of the model. So this person says, we answered already, but someone found Jeff Hardy without face paint, Randy Orton 06. Any possibility of these being uploaded?
They don't exist, man.
They don't exist.
I'm sorry.
And
If they did,
you
I
want to
would.
explain? You want to explain why, like, what happened, like, why they were released, like, the videos and everything, and like explain Joe Mashup and like, why he did it.
I think he was playing a rib on me. Like, I think that's the term they use for wrestling. They just try to
Ribbing.
start to joke with me. I think it got. I don't think he expected the attention to get as high as it did.
That big, yeah.
But he was just legit. Go, you know. It was just friends having fun. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
anything.
So for those who don't know, it was just Joe ribbing Status because he knew that Status would get a bunch of questions for it, so he made it look like Orton 06 and Jeff Hardy face paint were in the game, and because he knew Status would be getting asked a lot of questions about it.
Still do.
So it's just some friends making jokes, and they don't exist. Okay, they don't exist.
They
With
don't
mods
exist.
you can make them,
But if
but
they do, I'll get
Yeah.
I'll try to make it available.
yeah, if they ever exist in the future.
Whatever happens, you never know what happened in the future.
Yeah, exactly. So in the template section of create an entrance, there's one for a character called Mr. CQ, and when you preview it, the entrance it plays as Kane and the Trons and everything. Now, who is Mr. CQ, and why does he have a slot there? And then this person says Mr. CQ's template is in between Montez Ford and Mr. McMahon.
Mr. CQ is
Is who? Sorry, who?
Cole Quinn from WWE
Cole
2K22.
Quinn.
was
Yes,
one
I was going to
of the
think that
characters.
because wasn't his name in 2K19 Mr. CQ? He had like a gimmick.
Which was a full gimp suit in a way.
Yeah, he has
Really
supposed to
black.
like that. Yeah.
That could be for something else that they just probably forgot about. There's
So they probably
when I found that, I thought it was gonna be Corporate K, but it wasn't. So that's worse. But yeah, I think it's just stuff that probably had plans for.
just
a lot
left
of-
over.
Or cut stuff, MyRise stuff, because like you can tell the storylines don't connect with each other; they're just
Mhm.
together.
Yeah, as you mentioned.
So I feel like that's probably it. Just leftover stuff. I can't truly give you an official answer. I
No, that makes sense. No, that makes the most sense. It probably was
I
just
just
leftover
think it's just
because
leftover.
I know the model comes out. The model comes out all black, sort of looking like a vacant character. So it definitely was like a leftover, unfinished thing.
I think so too.
So moving on, PC users can now play with the hidden Bronson Reed. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Okay, and is it possible to upload it to the CC, and why not?
Because he doesn't load on a specific slot. The way he's available for other people on PC players is that we make that model load into a different slot. His specific slot is actually like it's not available. Like you can do what you want to load that slot. It's not gonna work. He only loads if you put that model to a different slot. If we
And there's
do
no.
that, if I do that, if I put, let's say, if I put Bronson Reed on, give me somebody useless in the game. Just give me somebody.
Uh,
Just give me a name.
okay, okay, just go ahead with. Damn it, it's like so many wrestlers, and I can't think of one. Just go with
All right,
Colquitt.
Colquitt. He's not playable, so I'm gonna go with Buddy Murphy. All right, whatever.
Whatever. Okay, there you go, Buddy
I
Murphy.
make him load up in the Buddy Murphy slot, and I upload him. You will see the picture as Bronson Reed, but once you download it, it's gonna be Buddy Murphy because your files
Oh,
were not modified. Mine were.
the modified, and
I'll
there's no
probably
way to
get that too
duplicate.
because it's be a modified file. But if
Oh yeah,
ever,
because that kind of modified. Yeah.
yeah, it's there. It won't be there forever. I get. It will not be there forever. I do think eventually they will.
They'll patch it out.
I think it will be replaced.
Oh, you think maybe he'll be replaced with a DLC slot, as the DLC character?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that.
So
might happen.
there's no way to duplicate Bronson Reed and then upload the duplicated version.
Oh, because even if I unlock him, he doesn't load.
He won't load.
He has to load into a different slot. Like that slot is isolated at the moment. You know why? Maybe because they don't want that character to be available. No.
Interesting.
Um,
I find it interesting how people were recently able to find him and play as him in the
yeah,
PC
but it's
version.
because he's. I know who did it. His name is Blind, and he's extremely smart dude. It's because he's playing off on a different slot that's already playable. So like, Buddy
So it's like
Murphy.
tricking the game. It's like sort of tricking the game.
Me. It's not a trick. It's just me putting his. It would be putting his model on a playable slot. That's it.
So instead of Bloody Murphy, it's Bronson now.
It would be Bronson, yeah. You would just rename him
Gotcha.
and all that stuff, and then it would be available. And I don't even think he's finished for what I'm seeing. I think like his hair's not even there. I mean, I've never really looked into him like that because, to the point, I could always recreate him from the ground up, and then put the entrance there. Maybe kind of get you a bit of what I did with the Fiend.
Yeah,
Probably the closest you get, but I could be
that's
wrong.
probably
Things
close.
could
Yeah,
change. Things could change. I'm not a super expert on this. I know
of course.
a lot
Yeah,
of people
it's all
like to think I
speculation
have
too.
the
Yeah.
answers for everything. I don't, because I thought Shawn Michaels was impossible, but he wasn't.
Mhm. Which, by the way, like everyone was trying to rub it in our face. Oh, he's possible. See, it's like cool. Yeah, like we
He's not possible for me because I can't go
yeah,
back.
yeah.
So
It's like not possible. The community had to do a bunch of workarounds, like I said, very specific workarounds to get him working.
and I think it's only one console that allows that to happen, which is the
Yeah,
PS5.
it's only PS5. Yep. Because I tried it on PS4, and you'll see in a future video of the process of how they did it. But I tried it on PS4, and it wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah,
Someone says,
that's
sorry, go ahead.
that's interesting. That's just 100% confirmed that he was going to be a playable character.
Yeah,
And last minute
100% confirms it
it
on
just
on version 1.0. Yeah.
I tried everything with him. I tried everything with him. I was never. I don't want to. People get the idea that I wasn't. Every day for a while, I used to
Yeah.
try
Oh,
with him.
I
The
know you were
first
trying.
one I uploaded to, but it didn't work, and I got a lot of questions. It doesn't work, so I had to pick own on this situation, which was like, okay, either I leave that up, and people, you know, can complain to me
They
saying they
find a
can
workaround
download it.
somehow. Yeah.
The workaround is strange, bro, because I just never thought about it. I never sat there and was like, you know what? What if it happened this way? And I wasn't gonna go on my PlayStation 5 and do all that, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest,
Exactly. Yeah.
because I have them available as it is, official stuff,
Mm.
call name, everything, the render, all that stuff. It's just when I upload them, there's that tag on it. I gave you what was there, just like I did with anyone else. It's just that tag was there for a reason because you had to and I feel like 100%, bro. It could still happen. It could
Of course, like we mentioned, yeah, it
Shawn
could
Michaels
still
being
still
renamed. That
happen.
could be a possibility that like, hey, you can unlock Shawn Michaels in MyRise or replay him again.
Yeah, they might do it like that where they're like, hey, we added him as an unlockable now, but you have to replay MyRise and finish that section.
Or they might just be like, oh, we added Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
Oh,
or yeah, or might be like, oh, enjoy, here's Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
close. I don't know. I didn't even know about that workarounds. Extremely crafty. We'll figure that out. What was his name?
Oh, who figured it out?
Shawn Michaels.
King
Yeah,
Rhodes
so
AJP.
shout out to him because I made a whole
Yeah, shout out
tweet
to King Rhodes,
just
man.
about him so people could get it because
Yeah.
it's great. Definitely needs
Yeah.
100% credit for that.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe he figured that out. Like, and it's funny because he randomly went onto 1.0. He said when he was installing the game on his PS5, he just noticed that he was able to go into community creations while it was installing 1.0, and he saw Shawn Michaels and he was able to bypass it, just download him, which
Yeah,
makes sense why I had like 4
that's what
downloads.
I'm saying. It was like
I was just
lightning in the bottle kind of.
yeah,
It
it was
wasn't.
just
If he waited and he went upstairs or did
yep,
something else and just went to the latest patch, we would never known.
never figured it out. Yep.
So there's that.
So kudos to him.
I will tell you this. I will attempt to get my own version of it out because now I know what the workaround is.
Right. Which is why I believe you posted an image of you having the PS5 version, correct?
Yes. So I'm
There
gonna
you go.
find my way around to make him an alt because I know a lot of people were asking for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh
make
yeah,
any
people would love to
promises.
have melt.
I'm gonna make
Yeah,
any
no promises.
but I will try.
It's the effort,
And then I'll let you guys know. Because
of course. And then I will let you guys know, of course.
if it happens, I do plan on uploading 2 versions of it, normal and DX.
Ooh, nice. Normal
So
and
there's
DX.
like the DX will have like the whole thing with the DX motion and stuff. So it's not as
Oh, nice.
got 2
Yeah,
versions. 'Cause to
that would
me,
be
like that looks
very
like a DX
appreciated.
attire. Looks like a DX attire. Looks like the Contractual DX stuff he was doing with Triple
Yeah, no,
H.
I believe it was. It was based off of that.
And I noticed Triple H entrance in the game fits the DX team way more than it fits my game team, and it annoys the shit out of me.
Oh, I know it. It's not even synced up either with the water bottle.
Nope, it's so annoying. I hate it.
I know. I literally will. I won't let that play out. Okay, I won't. I'll stop it halfway. Like right when before he does it, I stop it.
It doesn't have the cool like look around the ring as well. It's just he just walks. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah. So I think we answered this one already here, but 2K lets us play as 2K doesn't let us play as MyRise characters this year, but they let us upload them freely. How come they allow that? Do you have a sort of agreement with them? You answered already. You duplicate the superstar. That's why. And you
I
also
don't
asked.
I don't have an agreement. I asked a question. I asked him verbally when I had a call with the X Maker stuff, and I specifically asked about Scarlet and Alexa Bliss,
Hmm.
and I said, "Can I make Scarlet playable configurations?" And they said, "Is Scarlet in the game?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." Um, Same thing with Alexa. They said, "Go ahead. If they're in the game, go ahead." They're custom versions. They're not. People think it's like I said. They think it's the official stuff. It's not. Like the Alexa Bliss, the only thing that's different from the normal one is like the hair. Even the outfit pieces, they're already in the Creator Studio mode.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there that's crazy. I just go out of my way to make that available, and so everyone can enjoy it. This should be available, but maybe just contract obligations, and this is probably the only loophole around it because it's a recreation custom version. It's not the official stuff.
Thank you.
No problem.
How do some people get their creator wrestler names announced? For example, I downloaded Lex Luger, and when he came out, they announced him as the total package Lex Luger instead of the superstar.
Okay, so when you edit a superstar in the game like Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, for some reason when you go to the name options, the call name option isn't there. It used to be there for 2K20, 2K19, and all the titles before that, but they removed it for 2K22. You create a wrestler from scratch, which would be any custom, which would be your original or whatever you want. You can put whatever call name you want.
Yeah, and that answers the question why this guy's Lex Luger came out with the call name is because it was a creator wrestler that just looked really good.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
duplicates I guess don't, which is Creative Studio duplicates, which is when you want to give people extra attires. They don't have that option. I'm still looking into it to just remove the superstar altogether, so there's nothing there, so it sounds a little better. But what
Yeah.
I do in these games, since I've been modding them for years, when you put a mod in, there's no call name for them. Like 9 times out of 10, there's no call name, and for you to do that call name mod, it's tedious because you have to go to find the right ID and replace it and find the right
Mm-hmm.
voice. Sometimes there's wrestlers that don't exist in a past game, so you have to make up a call name. So what I do is I just turn the ring announcer off.
Just turn the announcer off. Yeah,
The ring
I do the
announcer
same thing.
does not bother me whatsoever. Yeah, Greg Hamilton don't even have a model in the game. That's like a made up thing. That's not even him. I just turn him
Oh,
off. That's literally the first thing I do when I get the game is turn soundtrack off and the ring announcer off.
is
Ring
there?
announcer,
Are you able to make the ring announcer playable, or does he not load?
I never checked, but it's not Greg Hamilton. I'll give you that. It's a
Yeah,
generic
yeah,
fake.
definitely not.
That's
Yeah, I
why.
saw that. It's definitely not him.
That's why when you kind of make a match, it always zooms into the back of his head and never his face. It's not
Mm-hmm.
him. It's his
I noticed
voice.
that too.
Not him. Don't care about ring announcer. Never have. Never cared. So I'm trying to figure out a way to remove the superstar.
Just so there's no call name. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's just be like on the way to the ring. That's it.
that's it.
On the way.
He's coming to the ring.
Yeah. I another reason is also a lot of creative wrestlers don't have specific call names. So like Chris Jericho and
Yes, they're like weird mixtures of names.
or whatever it is, they just Tortoso Nelson. Whatever it is. It's just I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that most times that's worse than hearing the superstar.
And then ring announcer to me never does it right either because if you'll be like a superstar in the game, oh, on the way to the ring, weighing 200 pounds, The Undertaker. A creative wrestler would be like, on the way to the ring, weighing 262 pounds, Nick, E,
Yeah,
L, oh. It sounds like shit, bro. I just turn
it
it off.
sounds like so. Yeah,
I just
yeah, I
turn that
agree,
off.
man.
I have no interest in that.
I
That
agree.
way, all my creative wrestlers don't have stupid ass sounding names and benefit as well. I guess the superstars they won't have that either. Trust me. My advice I can give to anybody right now: turn the ring announcer off. You won't notice by the fourth match because it adds nothing to it. Unless you want
And
to.
I
The only
I
thing I
agree.
missed is the best in the world Shane McMahon stuff. That's it. Anything else I don't care about.
Yeah, yeah, and that makes sense because he is the best in the world, so that would make sense. You want to hear
Absolutely.
that. Will you ever upload a MyFaction Mankind or others that get added to that mode down the road?
Mankind is a strange one because Mankind could be potential DLC. So Cactus is released and
So once Cactus is released, we
create a
shall see what
duplicate of
happens.
Mankind. But I do think by the time Cactus gets released, it's pointless because you can just put a Mankind mask
You
on
just put
Cactus.
the Mankind, yeah, and the Mankind attire is uploaded anyway, so you can just put that on Cactus Jack.
I didn't even know that. See that, but I'll do it.
Yeah. So what happened was King Rhodes.
Yeah,
King Rhodes AJP, when he went back to version 1.0, he noticed that there was version 1.0 clothing added, and Mankind's attire was one of the bits that he was able to put on a random creator wrestler and re-upload it,
sweet.
and
I
it
had no
bypassed.
idea.
So that one was tied. So that's tied to the Mankind model, the locking. The attire is unlockable.
I know a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you can't upload it 'cause you can't download it," but you can absolutely upload them and people can download them. I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
So like, you can't like, is there any Mankind's up?
There are, but you can't download them.
That's strange because mine worked.
Maybe it's PC thing.
Could be, could be.
Because like I said, the only thing we can download is the attire, and then we have to put it on
Well,
a really good
he's such
off.
yeah, because all the stuff is up, so it's kind of pointless because once you got Cactus, it's a wrap.
Yeah, once it's Cactus, then everyone's gonna be making official Mankind 100%,
And I think Cactus is gonna come with a brand new model, not a leftover 2K20 model.
which would be great. I really
Stock
hope
mode
he
doesn't
comes
work.
with an updated model.
Just I don't know. I know there's like a really small group of people, or my Twitter mentions just talking about hidden stuff.
Hmm.
I sometimes take a break, enjoy the game. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
some stuff is not because can you upload the referees? And it's like why? They're just generic people.
You can't put attires on them either.
Yeah, I didn't even know that because I never tried. Why the hell would I upload a referee?
Yeah,
Should be able to make our own referee. I'm not gonna lie. Like we should definitely be able to make our own referees.
100%. Yeah.
And maybe I would look into it. But like I'm not gonna waste time and energy on uploading a referee. Say what?
Hmm.
Just
So
somebody else could. Do
yeah, exactly. And people have been uploading referees of like a custom referee,
Awesome.
custom referees. I mean, they've been uploading them. So yeah, they're there on the community creations. If you guys want referees, they're in abundance.
Not by me though. So.
Yeah, they're not by him. Yeah, by the way, they're not by status. They're by a bunch of other people. This person said, could you upload a Ruby Riot or more 2020 versions of female superstars?
I can't upload stuff that doesn't exist. There's no
They don't
Ruby
exist.
Riot. The only reference to Ruby Riot I can tell you it's been crowd signs.
Yes, yeah. So I
And
think that's what they got confused with. They thought a Ruby
and I
Riot was
do
some
believe
files.
our outfit is in Creator Studio. So you can just go there yourself right now and just select it.
Oh, perfect. There you go. So you can create your own Ruby Riot with the attire and create a superstar.
Yeah.
Um, is there you answered this already, but is there any possibility of getting a Hulk Hogan without a beard? Now this was answered before that model was found.
Let me. Yeah. Yeah, it is possible. It's gonna happen.
It is possible. Yeah, yeah,
I'll
it's
do it.
possible. It's gonna
I'll
happen.
do it, but
He can't.
I don't know if he was just in there to be a free update because it's pointless. So I wait. I wait until
Yes.
situations happen. I haven't tested any of that stuff because I just got home.
Hmm.
Like, I haven't been really much around the game in the last week.
Right.
Just got home recently, so I have to see what's gonna happen.
Exactly. And to go further with that answer, yes, yes, you can upload him the model that we saw, but no, you cannot remove original Hulk Hogan's beard and upload him.
The original one, no.
The original ones, no, exactly.
I've been trying to figure. I think I've trying to figure out how to cover it. But every time I try, there's a lot of crashing and stuff. But
Yeah, I saw you
I
showed me.
can't remove it. But if ever been the possibility to cover it, then I can cover it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it'll be. Listen, the reason why I say never. Shawn Michaels a big one, and I remember like the Hogan bandana off was impossible. Like, that was such a struggle for me, but I got it.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's I'm not gonna say it's impossible.
Yeah, yeah, never say never type thing. And also with future updates, like I said, this recent update, you're able to remove Slapjack's mask for some reason. You can just take it
Yeah,
off,
that wasn't a
right?
thing, and I remember I
So
worked on
yeah.
him, and that wasn't a thing. So it's cool that they're looking at that and they're realizing why is this a limitation? You know, they just
Mhm.
get rid of it. That's cool.
So yeah, so yeah, again, never say never. Future updates can change things. Person says, how many hidden or locked wrestlers are in MyRise or MyFaction?
Uh, I don't be counting, bro.
You
I
don't be
just,
counted. Yeah. I think everyone. I think besides the miscellaneous NPCs, everyone that's a named character you've put out.
yeah,
Besides Michael Cole, which you cannot do,
I don't
and
think I put a
Adam
La
Pierce.
Venganza. I didn't put him out. I know that
Oh,
was a thing.
Love and Guns, I believe, is already out.
By somebody else. All right, cool. So I
By
don't
some,
have
yeah,
to.
yeah. And this next question leads into my next question: will Adam Pierce ever come out? I know you told me you've been trying to get him, right?
It's probably the same issue as Shawn Michaels. I'll look into it. Adam Pierce reached out to me, make him. So
Yes, I saw that. Congrats
well,
to that, by the way. You did an amazing job. I saw that tweet. I was like,
he
wow.
liked it. The only person that was credited was him. He was crediting like everything on my messages, and he liked it. So I thought as official as I can be. I mean, you can't probably get that model in the game, but the creator wrestler I made is something that he himself proved
That's
because
that's huge, man. That's fucking crazy.
it is. So, but there's that. At least he's not called a superstar. So
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
if those that don't want it, there's that version there.
He probably got the game and he's like, man, I really want to play with myself.
No,
And
I think what he told me was for his son. I
oh, his son
I
wanted to
was
play his
trying at the
dad. That's
time to
cute.
make him playable, just give him the outfit, but it didn't work out, so I just made it from scratch.
Yeah,
He
and you
was
did a
super
great job.
helpful. He was super helpful with it. He sent me
It's
the
funny.
face
When I
photo,
went.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, he gave you the photos and everything.
Yeah, so it was super. It was a really cool experience.
And did he pick the attire and everything too?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember I went through your creations. I remember I typed in Adam Pierce, and I went to your creation. I'm like, oh my god, someone uploaded him, and your creation was so good. I thought it was the official Adam Pierce.
It's as official it can be. He
Yeah,
stamped it, so
yeah.
he
It's
liked
the
it. So
official Adam Pierce creator wrestler as official it can be.
yeah, I mean,
Created for the game.
he asked me to make him. I did. He approved it on Twitter. So it's
That's so cool. So he reached out to you. He DM'd you.
yeah. Said
That's awesome,
I
dude.
want creator wrestler for my son. And like, hey, no issue. I got it. No problem.
That's so cool. I wonder how he knew to go to you for it. I wonder how you know what I
Because
mean.
he he says like a lot of my stuff is great. I think it was I don't know if it's the Fiend tweet or the Great Khali tweet. Even though that first Great Khali is horrible. Uh, um. Yeah. He just said, "Oh, your stuff's great. What was it gonna take to make a badass version of me?" my son. I was like, send me a face photo. I got it, and I did.
That's so cool. I bet it must have felt surreal. You must have been like, is it Adam Pierce really asking me to make him in the game right now?
It was cool. It was really cool. I walked him through the process. I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna download the render so it could be way more official. You know what I mean? Like having the render. I think having the real render is such a cool thing. Such a cool feature.
Oh, I know. The renders was one of the best features I've seen.
So there's that. I mean, it was awesome. It's cool.
That's good, man. Congrats again on that.
He's extremely nice.
Oh yeah, I bet, man. Congrats again on that.
Yeah, thank you.
So if 2K removes an upload of yours, like Nick Cross, for example, if you uploaded that and it removed it, will you be able to upload it again?
Have. That
You
weird
have.
removal that day is people started making articles about nothing because they were like, oh, they're removing the MyFaction guys, but no, they're not. They didn't. None of the MyFaction guys were.
Yeah, they weren't even the MyFaction people. You at the time. It was all MyRise.
It was MyRise and like Khalid got taken down too. He came back
Yeah.
up.
Oh, people have been asking for the render back, by the way.
The render pack.
No, your render for Kali apparently got removed, and people have been asking for it.
Yeah, the Fiend render got removed, so I don't know what like my uploads on that first account are odd because I would upload it, it would disappear from your community creations, and then one day all those uploads got removed, like a page of them. I think I had 3 pages. One whole page got removed, and then all my uploads showed up on my upload page.
Yeah, yeah, because I remember you re-uploaded a bunch of those MyRise characters with different attires.
The thing is, they got removed, but nothing happened to my account. I mean, like I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily hide what I do, but
Mhm.
2K follows me. They reach out to me anytime they want.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was that because I know a lot of comments are like, "Oh, the MyFaction guys are being deleted." It's like, nah, bro. AAA just and Shawn Michaels are still there.
Yep.
100%. People still play with them.
Because I remember you told me when that happened, when your page got randomly deleted, you said that you're just gonna you're gonna wait it out. You're gonna see what you reach out to 2K. You're gonna see what happened.
I want to
Yeah.
see. Reached out. They said they didn't know what was going on. I don't understand why.
So it's probably a server-based thing, right? Client issue.
I think it's because when I was uploading them, I was just going to upload slot 1, upload, and I don't know if everything on upload slot 1 just got deleted.
Oh.
Because for a while, since the glitch was happening to where if you upload something, it disappears off your upload page. What's the point of me trying different boxes? I could just try one and go. You know what I mean? Fastest one, first one I see. But yeah, nothing happened to my account. Everything was cool. I to this day I don't understand it. It's a little strange.
I don't understand either.
I put everything back up and everything stayed back up. So
Yeah, it has, and it's still up to this very day. Your creations. So if people say they can't see it, it's because you probably don't have your 2K account linked properly, or you don't have a stable connection with the internet. Here's a good question by Murder Junkie. They ask you, who was your favorite superstar to upload in 2K22, as well as your fave of all time to make? Not only 2K22. It's like for the second question.
make this year was
So-
definitely Fiend.
The Fiend.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite? So he was your favorite superstar to upload in 2K22 with the Fiend, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And who was your favorite to create of all time?
That's a bit of. I've been making calls since like SFR 2010, so I don't really have. I think the page I made recently is really good. It's probably one of the better ones I've ever made. So
Yes, I've seen that. I've been keeping track. Yeah, so her. I've been keeping track of it. You've been getting the tattoos like down pat, man.
Yeah, I want it to be more updated. You know, I think that with creations you can go that extra mile with the tattoos. And stuff.
How do you do the tattoo stuff? Like,
Well,
how do
9
you
times
take
out of
the tattoo
10
to make
you
it look-
erase it. Like you could just erase it off a picture, or you can
Okay.
or you can trace it to redraw. Like the Brie Bella tattoos on her stomach. Those were never in games for some reason. But I just took a picture and I redrew it. Just draw it off logo and then just put it there. You just redraw it really to be as much high quality
gotcha.
you can. But if these wrestlers have high quality photos, usually females are better for that than males. They do photo shoots. Just crop it out and trace it if you need it be, but if you don't, then you're good too. It doesn't matter.
And then you just line it up with the model.
Yep. It's fine.
Interesting, yeah. Because I always wondered how you get the tattoo to look so flush with the skin color and everything like that on the model, but it's because you trace the tattoo, or you remove the background skin color. of the initial photo.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we already asked this question here. Will you ever upload the referee models? No.
Man, I uploaded Caleb Braxton and Saxton because there were people, there were people
Yeah.
that personality in WWE. Freeze are just generic models. It's a waste of time to me. Somebody
Yeah,
else
the
can do
referees.
that, and they want to knock themselves out of the party, but like
Exactly.
I get the MyRise guys because the Jay Pierce, those are characters that they have availability, but like the referees, you can't give them clothes. They're pointless people.
Yeah, they're
You're better
just a
off,
model there.
you're better
That's
off
it.
just making creative wrestlers with underwear and then beat them up. It's the same thing. There's nothing special about them.
I agree. Yep. This is a good one here. Can you upload Starcade Rey Mysterio for last gen users?
DLC.
DLC tag.
Even if I did upload a DLC tag character, it's gonna ask you to get the DLC.
Good, actually, yeah. And actually, for the PS4 users, it just instantly crashes their PS4,
Oh,
their
that's
their
even
game.
worse. I'm going to recreate that attire. As in, I'm gonna make it from
That'd be
scratch.
really nice. The only
I-
problem with that is I'm sure you know of it. Is the mask doesn't go over.
What do you mean?
So someone recreated the
Yeah.
Starcade attire
Right.
and with a mask too. But when you copy that attire onto your Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc, the attire goes over, but the mask stays the Halloween Havoc mask.
Yeah, but I know ways.
You know? Oh, yeah. Okay. You got your tricks. I see you.
Yeah, a guy reached out to me to upload it. I'm not gonna give you the official DLC parts. I will recreate. I will use recreations of it.
That would be perfect. Yeah,
And
I know a
you'll
lot of
get
people
a
have been trying to get that,
close enough version of it, but it's not official. It won't be the official thing.
and we'll be able to transfer it over to a Rey Mysterio attire, or it will be on a Rey Mysterio
It will
model.
be on the Rey Mysterio.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know if it'll be
That's
an alt attire. I don't know yet. Is
perfect.
that
Yeah, people have
who
been
knows?
wanting the Rey Mysterio 96.
It will definitely be on a Rey Mysterio.
Awesome.
If I
Um,
ever get to it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you probably have projects backed up.
I like to
Uh,
actually create wrestlers, and then 9 times out of 10, when I have free time, I have to find stuff because I know people
yeah.
want that too.
Yeah. So you try and manage your time where it's like this today I'm gonna spend some time on creating wrestler, and then tomorrow I'll spend some time on going through the files
It's
and
just
seeing,
more fun to see what I'm created than spending 10 years to find something.
go through the files. Yeah.
And yeah,
Speaking of
but
files, are there
yeah.
any Bella Twin models in the game files?
Any Bella twins? No. Only
No
reference
Bella
to
Twins.
Bella twins is crowd signs. I tried
Crowd
to get
signs
on the
and
cause, but it didn't work.
crowd signs and the hat texture, right?
Yeah. So the hat that she throws on our entrance,
Mhm.
that's in there, but I don't know. It's disabled, so it doesn't load.
It
Like
doesn't look.
if you notice,
Okay.
if you download my Nikki Bella, she does the
Mhm.
motion when she throws her hat, but there's no hat
Yeah, but nothing's
because
there.
yeah, they were most likely planned and scrapped in the end.
It's very similar to a Road Dog's entrance, where if you put a Road Dog's entrance on anyone else, like the other Road Dog you download, the modern Road Dog, he doesn't do the talking. You
Because
don't hear that.
that's another thing of something being official. Um,
Yeah.
I know a fix to that. I don't know the fix, but I know how to get that working. I just don't know how it's done yet.
Mhm.
When I can, I will make that road dog an alt attire. It's just I haven't figured it out. Some characters is cool, some characters like nope.
Uh,
It's a cat and mouse game. But I know a lot of people
it's
are like,
trial and
why is it
error.
not an alt attire? And it's like, 'cause it can't be.
Yeah. It's like, that's the part they
yeah.
don't get. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's the part they don't get.
If I
It's not
can
like
make
you're not
everything,
trying.
yeah, I make everything in alt if possible. Like everything I've uploaded has been alts to things like Shawn Michaels. EX is an alt to the current Shawn Michaels. Triple H alts. I know people like
The
alts.
Rock.
The
The
Rock,
Rock.
yeah, I noticed the
Yeah.
Rock that was up wasn't an alt, and then people like, oh, I really want the alt because I too agree with that. I rather have it all too. I don't need two Rocks hanging around in
Exactly.
my menu. I'll just have an alt.
Exactly.
Rock 98 did the same thing. I guess the theme songs different. Some people want that, and another thing, not to bring that up when they go, oh, why can't I use the theme song on a separate alt attire? That's never been a thing on any
Never been a
wrestling
thing.
game. When you make an alt
I don't know
attire,
where they came up with that. It's like that's never
they're
been a
like,
thing.
well, are you gonna fix that glitch? It's not a glitch. It's by design. It's always been
Yeah.
a thing. If you want it to be a separate time trans, separate music, then make it a
Keep it a
separate
separate
character.
model. Yeah,
Because when you
exactly.
make an alternative version to the current character, it's always gonna take the current character stuff.
Yeah, it's
It's a
exactly what it is
small
called, an
sacrifice.
alternate attire.
Yeah, small sacrifice you gotta have to make. You're gonna hear the superstar. You don't want to hear the superstar. Turn off the ring announcer. Trust me, you don't care
Yeah,
about the ring announcer. I'm telling everybody
trust me.
right now. You don't want the ring announcer. He's pointless.
You heard it. You heard it here from status. Okay, the ring announcer is useless. Okay.
Oh, bro, I don't care about him.
Why don't you work for 2K? Did you ever have the opportunity to do so?
Work for 2K as in what? You want me to be? To give me a job? I don't think I'm
No.
talented.
Yeah, this person's just saying, why, like, would you want to work for 2K? Did you have an opportunity? I know you've had that 2K Next makers, right? What is that? You want to
That's
go on explain that?
I've never been reached out by 2K to work. I don't think I'm even talented enough for that. But no, I've never really was interested to work for 2K. That doesn't mean my mind could change. I was in the Next makers, yeah. I was applied. I think they accepted me in, but they were cool with whatever I was doing. They, however, couldn't. They don't like leaks, I guess.
Ah,
And they don't have an issue with what I do. But to be in programs, you have to obey rules. And,
gotcha.
And I had to. They were extremely respectful, extremely cool.
Yeah.
It's just
It just wasn't lining up with what you wanted to do.
It doesn't line up what I do. You know, I've been I guess a data miner since the beginning of time with these
Makes
games.
sense.
If you even search for 2K20 stuff, you will see my name on unlocking face paints and hairs and combo that weren't there before.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so that's why that didn't line up. Nothing against them. They have nothing against me. They're super whatever, and I just left it at that. That was
What exactly is the 2K Next makers?
From my understanding, it's an influencer program. I wasn't there long enough to kind of.
I got you. Okay, I wasn't sure if you knew what it was already going into it.
Yeah, it was just basically the way I provided my content wasn't end up to regulations that they had. So they're cool, or they don't care what I do. It's my content, you know. But to be in that program, there's rules and regulations.
Gotcha. I saw on your Twitter you posted a picture of Batista. Is there a 2005 Batista hitting in the game files?
At least as of this video, no.
As of this video, no.
It could
So
be
what was
in
that photo?
a patch from now, but anything at 1.9 was it 1.09? No Batista. No Batista.
No Batista. So as of 1.09, no Batista.
No Batistas.
This is a weird ass question. Can you get Fortnite characters in 2K22?
Mods, yeah.
With mods, you can. So you can get the
upload
Fortnite
them,
mod. Yeah, no uploading on the CC. We
It's not gonna
established
work
that for mods.
you won't have the file will just be in my game, but it's absolutely possible to.
Possible
Man,
to mod Fortnite characters.
Man, I'm telling you, the PWM guys did do crazy shit, bro. Godzilla in the game.
Oh my god, Godzilla in the game.
I'll give you a screenshot and send it.
Yeah, please do.
Put up on the video,
You'll send it.
bro. Trust me, the bear that you were talking about, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I've seen turtles, Kratos,
Kratos I've seen yet.
Street Fighters, Dragon Ball Z characters, a whole bunch of stuff into the game, bro. Trust me, it's mods. If you know what you're doing, possibilities are endless. But they cannot be uploading new creations. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's just how it is. The situation of the matter, it won't work.
Yeah, it just won't work. And there's a good point you explained there for a second for why. If he uploaded a mod, we are not downloading the mod files, so we won't even see them on consoles, but he would on PC.
My game's gonna download a file that doesn't necessarily exist on a version of the game, so that won't work. Mm-hmm. I know somebody's gonna try, and it's gonna suck if they do, because it's probably gonna crash things.
Gonna crash things. It might not even download something properly. Might not even download anything. I don't know.
That's why I don't touch DLC, because DLC and the files, it's usually unfinished until.
Yeah, I remember when I made a video on someone uploading the DLCs, and I made a video. I downloaded Rikishi, instantly crashed.
I also don't like to upload stuff that people have paid for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of people have paid for season pass, and that's not very fair to them either. It's just all
not fair, yeah.
DLC. That's my view on it. People might view it differently.
Yeah, like sure, they might not be getting the official model, but still, like they're getting all the entries and the trons and all that stuff, and that's still part of the season pass that people paid for. So
somebody else can do it. I just don't touch it.
Yeah, you're not gonna touch that. You're not gonna touch that, so don't ask status to touch that stuff.
Oh, they're gonna ask. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're gonna ask you, right?
I got questions.
Who am I kidding?
upload
Yeah,
Omas. I'm like, why
you're
would I
gonna get
upload
asked questions.
Omas? Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
in
real.
the game in a week times, bro. Like, relax. It's just,
It's
what do
literally.
you need Omas that bad for? Just wait.
I'll get tweets like that or comments. Oh, someone uploaded Omas early, bro. He comes up tomorrow. Like, what are you doing?
I know it's. I know it's probably saying those comments too. I get them every day.
Yeah, people are gonna still ask you questions even after listening to you answer them here.
That's all good. I don't mind answering questions.
Of course. Any way to upload my GM models or my GM jobbers and why? Why not?
No, because my GM characters are auto-generated creative superstars. They're not like models. They don't. They
There's
don't.
no fixed model
they don't.
for it.
They don't exist in the files because they're auto-generated creative superstars. Anything about those models, if you can get into highlight reel into my GM, see them, they can be recreated in calm mode because that's all they are. They're just essentially templates merged together to create something. There's nothing about them that's a legit.
That's special, unique. They're just literally, like you said, they're creator wrestlers that
Yeah, they
someone
don't
can just make.
have a model. So like say if I load them up, it will just load me back up to create a superstar menu. As
With
I was
and
making a
you'll see a generic call with no clothes.
I will see whatever is it the Asian dude with the hair and the red trunks?
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
see that.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
see him.
Oh.
Trust me, I looked
Just-
into those guys too. I know why
Oh yeah.
people would
No.
want
No
them,
doubt.
but whatever.
Hey man, you know some people are they want the complete roster of anything
Listen,
that
the
is in the
weirdest
game.
request was the ring bell guy, and I was like, all right, dog, you gotta stop. I'm gonna pull the ring bell guy.
Someone will, bro. Someone will.
I got
What?
asked, you pull the ring bell guy. I was like, oh, what? I don't even know who is the ring bell guy. Isn't it Caleb Braxton that's on the corner? I don't even know. See,
No, it's not definitely not Caleb Braxton, but it's just an NPC that sits there.
probably a low poly model with no texture.
It probably you probably can't even put clothes on it. It probably loads up like a referee does, where it's no clothes. Oh, watch, dude. Soon, I'm telling you right now, soon enough you're gonna be getting questions. Can you upload one of every single audience member, please?
And then their legs don't
What?
move.
Where's the audience member pack, bro? Yeah, we're definitely gonna get asked those questions. But yeah, bro. That's pretty much all the questions that I have here, and besides us just casually talking about other stuff that weren't questions. I just want to say thank you for spending an hour and 42 minutes with me,
I feel like that.
chatting away, bro. It didn't feel like that long. It literally, I
Yeah.
did not expect it to be that long, actually.
Well, hopefully, answer stuff. I notice you probably get bombarded with questions about.
Yeah, of course. And like we've said, like I've said to you, if we have to do a second video, we can for sure down the line.
No issue with me, man.
Pardon?
No issue with me.
Oh yes, no issue with you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Probably will plan on. I'll probably try and get like the PW guy on here and some other people. Diffract, get them talking about how they enjoy creating wrestlers and mods and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But besides that, where can the people find you? And you got any future projects you're working on?
You can find me on Twitter at WhatsTheStatus. You can find me on Community Creations at WhatsTheStatus #67466 and then WhatsTheStatus 96093. Two accounts I use in Community Creations. Everything else is not me, so therefore I'm not responsible for whatever people use. But yeah, just Instagram, WhatsTheStatus as well. Pretty straight to the point. Nothing crazy.
Perfect. Any future projects you're working on? That you're willing to share?
I'm just gonna leave the word unmasked. There.
Unmasked. All right.
You could do what you want with that. But unmasked, I guess, would be what I've been looking for next.
There's the code word right there. Status, brother, appreciate you coming on here and chatting with me, man.
Big thank you for having me. Big thank you for the questions. Big thank you for everybody that used their time to watch this and listen to me ramble.
Yeah.
And hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you guys. Enjoy the podcast.